Welcome to another Midwest EV road trip video. You've joined me and myself and I. We are taking the Volkswagen ID.4 on a solo road trip to Columbus, Ohio to watch the Chicago Fire play against the Columbus Crew. That'll be tomorrow night at lower.com field. For now, it's just going to be me. I'm just about to leave here, get on my way to Columbus. I'm still trying to figure out which way to go through Chicago, whether I want to go downtown to hit a brand new Electrify America charger, or whether I want to go the 294 route and hit up a different charger on the way out, from Illinois to Indiana, Chicagoland area. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. All right, so you joined me inside the car here. So here we are, just about to leave. I'm actually going to plug in the Columbus into my address book here. So let's just see. I'm just going to see what the kind of Volkswagen ID.4 nav is thinking. My friend lives near High Street, near the Ohio State campus. So we're looking at X amount of miles here. Let's just see what the car is spitting out. Then we'll kind of compare with, let's say, about a route planner. See what that looks like. So I'm going to hit start, and it's going to calculate. All right, let's see what it's thinking. So I probably do need to reset the range estimate. Yeah, see, already, this is why would I stop? Is it Lansing, Michigan? That makes 0 sense if that's the case. No, Lansing, Illinois. Oh, okay. 20 kilowatt charger. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. It doesn't want us to go that 294 route. And then it wants us to go from there to Indianapolis. I do believe I can skip that Lafayette, Indiana charger, because that one is only 4 chargers. It's quite busy and doesn't seem to be working the best. And then looks like it thinks we can make it in 2 stops. So that's interesting. But let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to reset the long-term trip planner here. So let's go over to data. 3.1 software is improved, but still a little bit slow when it comes to a few things. Hopefully this car gets 4.0, but I'm not holding my breath. So I'm going to reset the range estimate. We're at 100% state of charge. Now that I reset the range estimate, it's guesstimating 282 miles. There's no way we're actually getting that. So let's go back to the navigation. Let's just see what it is thinking, if it's rerouted. Okay, so yeah, it still wants to stop at this one. That makes no sense. Let's go. Indianapolis makes sense to me. There will be an Electrify America. We stop right there. They actually have 3 Electrify Americas in Indianapolis now. And last time we were there, they only had the one, which is this one, but there's 2 that kind of are on the northern edges here. I don't know why they're not populating on the map. I have charging stations on, so that's interesting. But anyway, well, I kind of figured the navigation, Volkswagen Nav, would not be doing the job that we wanted to do, so let's go ahead. Welcome to Electrify America in Hodgkins, Illinois. You guys might be familiar with this location. It's not that a few times when we head this direction. I ended up taking 294 south, bypassing downtown Chicago, because of course there's always traffic, construction, all sorts of stuff like that. It is quite rainy and a little cool here. It's 59 degrees Fahrenheit. We plugged in at 53%, and that seems like a really silly thing. It's just super unfortunate. From Milwaukee, there's not, I can't quite make it to the Lafayette, Indiana station. It would be really cutting it close. I probably would only get there with 1% or 2, if not less than that even. So I decided not to chance it. Decided to actually charge up here instead, plugged in at 53%. Charging up enough where I have a little bit of a buffer to make it all the way to Indianapolis from here, because that Lafayette station's only got 4 stations at the location. And those usually don't work that well, and only 1 of 4 is available right now. And then the station I'm at currently is fully packed. We had somebody actually waiting in line as well. We have a Kia EV6 and another ID.4, and there's a Kia Niro, or no, it was a Kona. I think it was a Hyundai Kona actually that just left. So yeah, we just decided that since I got in here right away, just charge up as close as I can. I'm thinking I theoretically could make it to Carmel, Indiana right now, which is a brand new station that just opened about a week ago or so. So I wanted to try that one out and kind of go a different way through Indianapolis than I normally would. It's about 3 hours from here, 182 miles. We have 186 on the guessometer at 80%. So I think I'm going to charge to 90 just to give us a bit of a buffer, just in case something goes wrong. Oh, and now we have a Rivian coming up as well. He's probably looking to charge, maybe not, he just drove right by. Maybe he doesn't need to. He's probably local. Not 94 user charging to 100, which is not what I do, for the record. But anyway, so I think we're just going to charge maybe to 85 or 90%, and then make our way to Carmel, Indiana, that we don't have to stop at Lafayette. I really don't like that location. There's not really much around there, at least in the parking lot that, you know, you'd be charging at. Maybe the Indianapolis one's at a Meijer, so maybe there might be some lunch I can get or something like that in there. I guess that will be almost dinner time at that point, but anyway, so we'll charge up here at 81 now, 81% state of charge, and we'll, you know, just give ourselves a little bit of a buffer to make it all the way there so we can skip that kind of crappy Lafayette station. It really stinks because I would have gone straight to the Lafayette station if I could have from Milwaukee. However, it's a little bit outside the, you know, the highway range I can make it from Milwaukee to there. I think it's like 220 miles or something like that from Milwaukee, I believe, which is like, it's cutting it when you're going 70-mile-per-hour highway speeds. Could I have slowed down? Yeah, but I don't like to get run off the road in Chicago. So, yeah, we'll update you when I'll update you when I leave here and go from there. Okay, we are just approaching 90% state of charge, so we are just about to get on our way. I have decided that we will be trying to make it all the way to the Indianapolis area, to that Carmel, Indiana new Electrify America location. We want to try out the new 350 kilowatt chargers. I know, yes, this car does not support 350 kilowatts, but I have seen it get up to 180, and those are the brand new chargers that should work. We averaged about we went up from 53% to 90% here, and the peak speed we saw, which is, you know, slow, is going to be 61 kilowatts is what we saw here. So not great, but, you know, we started at a high state of charge, so that's kind of what happens. Just kind of unfortunate given the spacing of the Electrify America stations between Milwaukee and through Indiana. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug here. We'll see you in Carmel, hopefully. So we've made it to Indianapolis, more specifically Carmel, Indiana. We went 181 miles from 90%, average 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. We're now at 2% state of charge with 3 miles estimated remaining. I almost stopped at the Lafayette charger on the way. I didn't know if we'd make it here or not, but honestly, it wasn't really a problem. So these are the brand new chargers. I'll go ahead and show you guys here. We've got a BMW iX and a Porsche Taycan GTS. It's two, you know, some good company here. So let's go ahead and we'll get this guy active. These are the new 350 kilowatt units. A nice new screen, so we'll go ahead and get us plugged in here. Connecting the vehicle, this may take a minute. Tap to pay never wants to work. Let me try this one more time. There we go. Sometimes you have to open up the app before we do it. So payment authorized. It's a lot warmer down here than it is up there. I feel overdressed, but this is a nice community around here. A lot of nice cars for sure. All right, welcome away. Alright, perfect. Good start here. So we're getting solid 160 kilowatts now. So if we go into the ID.4 screen, you can see that verified. It's not just the charger lying to us. To get to 80, it only thinks it's going to take, half an hour. Oh, and then right at 5%, we rocketed it up to 170 kilowatts. So that must be when we actually get a little bit higher. I have seen 180 here before. or in this car, not at this location, but we got a Porsche driver pulled up next to me as well. Good deal. So we'll see, you know, kind of how things go. I'll let you know if the peak charging changes, but right now we're seeing about 172 kilowatts. In just a couple minutes, we've gone from 2 to 7%. So good deal. We'll keep rocking and rolling. Excellent end of the session here in Carmel, Indiana. We're just about to hit 100% state of charge. Reason I charged all the way to 100 again. I'm doing deep charges on this trip, but really it's gonna mean I only stopped twice, which is, you know, okay, I guess. When you consider the chargers are off the highway and stuff like that. But really like these stations, they work really well. But reason I'm charging to 100% is because I'm going directly to my friend's, and there is a charger in the garage there, but I just want to make sure I don't arrive too low just in case it's not available. I'm gonna skip 2 more Electrify Americas. It's gonna be Huber Heights and the Columbus one. I don't need to stop at either one, which is gonna be really nice. So we're just wrapping up here. Look at that, energy delivered, should almost at 77 kilowatt hours usable. So that would be pretty good. It means there's minimal degradation on this battery, at least, of the usable capacity. If it's real, well, there is some energy being lost, so I guess that's something to consider. But we should just be almost done. And there we are. We are complete. So it took 57 minutes to go from 2% to 100% state of charge. So we're gonna get on our way here. I also ended up charging here longer because I went to Naf Naf Grill at the other side of the parking lot. So that was a nice, you know, dinner. Now I'm curious how much that would have charged us. Should say there once it goes. So yeah, that would have cost $39 for a full charge. Because they charge by the kilowatt hour here, I believe. So perfect. So we'll be all set. I think that should be our last charging stop. Let's just go in the car and see what it's guesstimating. So it's guesstimating 225 miles of range. It just said 225 on that screen, so I double checked. But yeah, that stretch we went 181 miles. We're averaging 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. And since start, we've gone 282 miles. We're over halfway there. Which makes sense considering we've already, you know, charged twice, and then we wanted to charge again. So we're at 100%. Really was perfect timing. I just finished eating my food, walked across the parking lot, you know, just went in Meijer real quick to check it out because that's where it is. There are Tesla superchargers across this small parking lot, the big Meijer store over there, and then there's the Meijer gas station convenience store right over there. Decent stop. They've got Naf Naf Grill, they got Blaze Pizza, you know, chains, but they've got some nice options here. So I highly recommend this new location in Carmel, Indiana. But we'll get on our way here. I'll update you if we hit any snags. So as we're just about to leave here, just wanted to also show we're 185 miles away from my friend's house, and we have 224 miles in the guesstimator at 100% state of charge. So I don't anticipate this being a problem getting there. So I think we should be good. Good morning from Columbus, Ohio. About to make the drive of shame home after a shambolic performance by the Chicago Fire last night against the Columbus crew. Is what it is, I guess. Just wanted to show you. So we're at 78% state of charge. I charged to 80. We did arrive here, or I did arrive here with about 10% state of charge. I think it was 10 or 11. I'll include the screen grab here. About 10 p.m. So we made pretty good. I made pretty good time on the way in. So we'll just show you kind of what we're looking at for the route home since we don't have a full charge to leave. There was a level 2 charger across the street from my friends. So I charged to 80 that first night I was there, and then I've kind of been not charging since. So just plugged into a better route planner because I like to use it for reference. So let's look. So we're looking here. Let's navigate to home. I set our current, we're currently at 80%. The OBD hasn't, there we go, 78%. OBD hasn't quite caught up yet. So actually, let me reset this, and then just gonna put in home. And then it'll calculate based on the live OBD data. A little bit slow. We've got reception, it's just a little bit slow sometimes. So it wants us to stop. So we're going to stop at all different chargers on the way home, it looks like. We're not going to even stop in Indianapolis, which honestly is going to work out because a lot of those chargers are out of the way. So we're going to test Electrify America and their strengths, you know, with some different chargers. We're going to stop at Huber Heights, Ohio, near Dayton, Then we're going to make it to Lafayette. Lafayette's the one I'm worried about because that one's not great. And then it looks like it wants to stop in Chicago. I'm not sure if I actually want to go downtown, or it depends on the traffic, what the traffic's looking like. I'm going to plug this into Google Maps and kind of take a look. But what's really nice about a better route planner, it's hit or miss. But if you hit open in Google Maps, that should theoretically come up on this screen here. Let's see, does it show, is this including our charging stops? That's going to be the real question. So let's see.
Head east on East 9th Avenue towards Section Alley.
It did not map in our charging stops. So I don't know why, but a route planner doesn't always do that. I think it's an Android Auto issue in terms of how it's sending the data. I think what I've been able to do instead of hitting open in Google Maps is share to map, and then I think it puts in the you know, points of destination across the way. There we go. Yeah, so this way, well, it goes to the current one at least. So that's something, I guess. Does this?
Head east on East
This is the other funny thing.
Section Alley. Plugs at Electrify America charging station aren't compatible with your vehicle. You'll need to replace this charging stop.
So the funny thing about that is that they're absolutely compatible with this vehicle. I don't know if that's a Volkswagen issue because I'm connected to Android Auto, because I've set in Google Maps that I use CCS and J1772. But for some reason it thinks that the plugs aren't compatible, so I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, first charging stop, 63 miles. Let me see if this is adding our whole route now. It might be. It's not. All right, well, we'll just map them out kind of one at a time, I guess. So I'm going to keep a better route planner up here for reference, since I can run both concurrently, even though that is quite a strain on the phone. But let's check that out here. Let's go back into good old friend. So we'll start the routes. And I believe I can actually use both Google Maps and a better route planner concurrently. So that is good. Yep, perfect. So I like the navigation aspect of Google Maps. Then I have this as reference here. I do like to mute a better route planner when I'm using Google Maps. Yeah, see, just the responsiveness when you're running both at the same time is not great. There we go. That is most likely an Android thing, but you know, it's worth pointing out. Okay, so I already have the sound muted on Better Route Planner. I might just skip using this if this is going to, you know, significantly degrade my performance. Did head to Waffle House this morning, if you couldn't tell. And then, so yeah, let's get on going here. Looks like we should arrive with about an hour. It's currently 8:39 Eastern. So I think, what does Better Route Planner think we're going to get home at? Better Route Planner thinks we'll get home around 4:15. I would imagine that's Central. Maybe that's Eastern time. See, that's the funny thing too, is that even the app doesn't show, you know, the time zone. So we'll see. I'm guessing that is going to be Central, but we'll see if it's Eastern or not. But anyway, we'll get on going here. Looks like we should arrive with about 45% state of charge. We'll see you in Huber Heights, Ohio. Welcome to Huber Heights, Ohio. About an hour drive. We got here. It is 9:40 a.m. We arrived with 48% state of charge with a guesstimated range of 100 miles, so a little bit higher than what a Better Route Planner was even anticipating, which is always cool. So I'm gonna get out here. Let's get us plugged in. I did pull into the 350 because it's an empty station, and this car can take, I don't think there'd be a difference at this state of charge to plug in at a 350 versus a 150, but I'd love to find out. That would be a nice surprise if we did get 100 kilowatts. I have seen 100 kilowatts at 50% before, so we will certainly find out. We'll go ahead and we'll plug the car in. Let's check out the station. Should just be able to tap to activate, but I do have the app open, worst case scenario. We're the only ones here, so we'll just test it out. I know some of the 350 chargers, they don't actually output 350. A lot of them are nerfed due to, I think, cable cooling issues or software. I'm not 100% sure why that is. But we'll go ahead and start charging. I think we need to charge to about 93% or so to get to Lafayette. Just want to skip that Indianapolis charger. All right, so far so good. Okay, it stuttered there for a second, but we're getting 70 kilowatts. It's acceptable for how high a state of charge we're at. Let's check inside the car. Gonna check and see what the distance is to our next charger. So if we're trying to make it to Lafayette, so we're here in Huber Heights right now. We're gonna skip these 3 chargers in Indianapolis area. How many miles are we? It says 194 there. Let's plug it into Google Maps. All right, so 173 miles. I don't know why when I put in the Electrify America, it navigates to this tobacco and vape shop, but that's interesting. Must share an address in terms of the unit and everything. So 2 hours, 41 minutes from here, 173 miles. We currently have 103 miles on the guessometer. Let's just see what a better route planner thinks again. I thought it said 93% we needed to charge to, but let's see what it's thinking. Volkswagen Nav, I did give it a chance, and while I was driving there, I just plugged it in, and yeah, I wanted to stop at non-Electrify America chargers, and one of them was like a 50 kilowatt EV Connect, so yeah, we're just gonna skip that. So it thinks that we can get there to Lafayette with like a 10% or 9% arrival. Thinks we can get it there if we charge to 93. So I think what I'll do is I'll charge to 90 just to give us a little bit of a buffer. So let's see how long that's gonna take here. Head to our charging screen. Let's set it to 90, so it thinks it'll take maybe about 35 minutes to charge up to 90. So we're at 62 kilowatts now, which, yeah, 50%, you know, don't expect much better than that. Yeah, if somebody else pulls up, I will absolutely move to the 150. I just wanted to kind of see what we're getting here. You know, as an experiment, now I kind of want to unplug and plug into 150, but at the same time, we're getting a real charge now. But you know what? It's part of the experience. Let's just do it, because, yeah, if like a Rivian or somebody else really needs a 350, I'd prefer not to be blocking it for them, because it's the only 350 here. The rest of these chargers, there's 6 chargers here, and one of them is a 350. We have a Chatamo over in charger 1, so I won't block that. I'm just going to move over maybe to the end stall, and then see what we're charging at out of that one. Just curious to see if it's any different. All right, so I moved over to the 150, and we are charging at the same charging speed as well. So you can see I moved over from one of those, the 350 over there. So yeah, not surprising at this state of charge. Really, I think the main advantage of plugging into a 350 with the ID.4 is that you get that really high, you know, peak charging at, if you're at a low state of charge. So that's usually when I try to plug into the 350, is when I arrive maybe like between 0 and 10%, because I have seen 180 kilowatts because of the ID.4 can take, I believe it's 425 amps, and these 150 chargers only do 350. But when you're at, you know, about 50% state of charge, you can't use that full amperage. So just looking at kind of what I'll pull up the car scanner data here. Connecting to the OBD, let's check it out. So we are charging at 163 amps, which is exactly what the car is requesting. So that, yeah, in a perfect scenario, if we were to arrive at a lower state of charge, we'd have a maximum, a dynamic limit of charging in ideal conditions of about 425 amps, whereas the 150 kilowatt Electrify Americas are only rated for 350. So you do get a little bit of better speeds when you plug in at lower into a 350, but you'd obviously still get the full 350 amps when you plug in with 150. So right now, we're at the middle of the pack, so we're not ever going to get that, highest charging speeds possible. So we'll just ride the wave here. It looks like, yeah, it should be done in about 30 minutes. Should get us to 90 from this state of charge, because again, it just charges slower here. But we weren't going to make it to Indianapolis. We might have, but it would have been really pushing it. And yeah, I like to leave a little bit of a buffer so that we're not, stranded in the middle of Indiana somewhere. So yeah, we'll charge up here. Hopefully no issues, but I mean, Electrify America has been perfect on this trip so far. I have not seen one charger with a reduced message, so maybe that was a software bug that they were limiting. I don't know if software updates failed and it was causing issues or what, but damn, I don't want to jinx it here, but we'll see. Lafayette, I know, is a little bit iffy. There's only 4 chargers there, and I think one of them is derated according to PlugShare. So we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. Just wrapping up the charging session here. We're at 89%. Still getting about 38 kilowatts charging speed delivered. Oh, there we go. We just hit 90. So it took about 32 minutes to go from 48 to 90. Yeah, not ideal that we had to stop. I would have preferred to stop at a lower state of charge, but we were really stretching it to even make it to Indianapolis, and I figured while we're stopping here, let's just charge up to 90 so that we can skip Indianapolis and get over to Lafayette. It's nice to have options on this Electrify America route, for sure, because there used to be only 1 charger in Indy. And I think that was on Emerson Avenue, and now they have 2 more since the last time I've gone this way. So that is good. So they're definitely getting them in the ground here. We're guesstimating 192 miles and 173 miles to Lafayette's charger. So we'll go ahead and get our navigation going here. There we go. So it should be about 2 hours, 40 minutes. We should get there right at 1 o'clock Eastern. So we'll get on going here, get my navigation pulled up, and I will see you in Lafayette. All right, guys, my worst fear has happened. We are here at Lafayette, and all chargers are full. So we have got all 4 being occupied. On my way here, there were 2 available about 10 minutes ago, and I got here, and there's 2 BMW iXs, 1 BMW i3, and a Kia Niro, all plugged in. So hopefully there's 2 guys out right now, both the guys with the BMWs. They almost look like car salesmen because they have jeans and polos on, and they're chatting, and they've got temp tags. So I don't know if they're new cars or if they're dealership cars or what, but this is really unfortunate because I really have to pee. I've been driving for almost 3 hours. I chugged a Waffle House to-go coffee. So the hope is that once somebody leaves pretty soon here. Does not look like anybody is with the BMW i3. However, somebody looks like just maybe pulled up. No, the Kia Niro nobody's with. The 2 BMW iXs look like they're the ones most likely to leave the soonest. So this really stinks. Yeah, I don't want to leave the car, even though I really have to run in and use the restroom. So we are gonna hold tight here. Very unfortunate timing. Makes me really mad that I didn't stop in Indianapolis beforehand, and this guy just got back in his BMW, and he's still plugged in, so I don't think that looks good for me. But we got here 10 minutes ahead of schedule, so that's good. There was some construction. I was worried we wouldn't make it by 1 o'clock, but look at that. We averaged 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour since Huber Heights. Since the whole trip today, we've been averaging 3.2, and long-term whole trip, including from Milwaukee to Columbus, averaging 3.1. So about equivalent to what the EPA says that the car should be getting in terms of range. So we'll hang tight here. I'm kind of parked away, next to the charger, so we'll be able to pull in once somebody pulls out. Yeah, this sucks. I just want to run in and use the restroom, but looks like that will have to wait for now. I don't know what these guys are charging to. Hopefully they're done soon, so fingers crossed. Camera decided to die as I was gonna film that I only waited about a minute at the station for one of those stations or chargers to free up. So that red BMW iX that you probably saw in the previous shot, that one left. I pulled right in, plugged in, fantastic, flawless, 120 kilowatts immediately at about 10 or 11% state of charge. So that worked really well. It charged for about 32 minutes to go from 10 to 80, which is okay. It's like fine, but it's the normal charging curve of the ID.4, so left at 80, but as I was there, the white BMW, the white iX owner, he asked me, so he unplugged and replugged at the charger next to me, which also happened to be the Chatamo. So I plugged into a 350 because I was the only one available. But he plugged into the Chatamo, and then he unplugged and replugged after I plugged in. He asked me what my charging rate was, and I told him, oh, I'm getting about 120 right now. He said, yeah, I'm only getting 30 over here. And I said, yeah, your car should should not be charging that slow, especially given the state of charge it was at and everything. And then there's a lady plugged into a 350, a BMW i3. I would anticipate it's because it was the only charger that was available, because there are only 4 at the station, so you don't really get a choice, especially given that it's a very, very highly traveled corridor, and there's 1 4-station Electrify America along that stretch. So that really sucks. They need to put in more chargers. The Tesla station nearby has way more. I don't know exactly how many, but it's more than 4. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but she was saying that she had an issue activating her charger. She'd call Electrify America, they had to reset the station. And then the Kia Niro guy left, kind of as we were talking. He didn't really say much to us. I don't know how that station was working. But then the iX owner, once the i3 owner left, the iX came over. He tried to activate that one. That didn't work either. So, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This guy had the iX for a week, and he's already seeing just how bad Electrify America is for a lot of people. I got so lucky that I got a charger with no issues at all. But I can't say the same for them, so that really stinks. So charge it to 80. I'm at 69% now, and I am planning to stop one more time just to top up a bit at the Fashion Outlets of Chicago in Rosemont, Illinois. So about 2 hours there, 117 miles. I have about a 30-mile buffer. It's 147 on the guessometer, so that should not be a problem. Making it there, and then I could have charged higher here, but it would have been cut. Even if I were to charge to 100 at Lafayette, there still was a chance I had to stop anyway. So I just said, okay, I'll charge to 80. Then we'll stop and we'll just charge to 50 at Fashion Outlets. I probably will get there with maybe like 20%, 15%, 20% or something. So it should be pretty quick to go from that to 50. But yeah, I cannot believe it. I'm going to jinx it by saying this. But I've had a flawless Electrify America experience. The only con I've had was waiting 1 minute for a charger, which honestly, I mean, that's normal. That's what it should be. If you're waiting longer than 5 minutes for a charger, that's where, there's an obvious need for capacity improvements. That one really does need a capacity improvement though, because I've had to wait at that charger before. And I know other people who have as well on PlugShare and all that. So yeah, so we'll keep on going here. I'll check in with you at Fashion Outlets. We're 26 miles since our charge, and we've used about 12% of battery. We're averaging 3.1 since then. Along this, since Columbus, we've been averaging 3.2. We do have a little bit of a tailwind behind us as well, which is kind of nice. We're heading into some rain, so I'm glad I have a little bit of a buffer, because I know that will probably adversely affect the charging rate. Are those a bunch of Volkswagens on that truck? I wonder if there's an ID.4. We'll see. But yeah, so we will kind of go from there. Ooh, we're about to, let's see what's going on. These look like some of the newer Tiguans, I think. Let's see, are there any ID.4s? Oh, I'm sorry, that's not a Tiguan, that's a Atlas. My bad. That's an Atlas, that's an Atlas. Another Atlas. Yeah, it looks like they're all Atlases. Maybe a Tiguan in there. I can't really tell, but no ID.4s, sadly. Ooh, that's a nice blue. I think that's an Atlas there too. Yeah, I think that one's a Tiguan. There's an Atlas. Cool. Car full of Volkswagens, and none of them are EVs. That kind of stinks. But hey, new cars. You see so many Subarus also driving through Columbus and Indiana. And there's a truck full of Kias. Can get stolen, probably. Yeah, fun stuff. So about 2 hours left. Oh, we just got back into the Central Time Zone. So it's now 12:54. We should get there at 2:53. I anticipate being back in Milwaukee by 4:30. So that's super nice. Better route planner, I think, was saying I should get there at like 4:15 if we reference the first part of the video. But yeah, it is what it is. It's a little bit, I think this charging rate could have been better. At the 120, the car might have been warm because I've been charging it, but I have seen 180 at 350, so I don't know. But hopefully that guy was going to take my charger after I left, since that one was the only one, that was confirmed to be working at full speed. You can't really judge that with an i3 because, the max charging speed on that is not, anything that these chargers can actually output. But yeah, we will see if the fashion outlets, you know, work out nicely. Hopefully we don't have to wait there. That's also kind of a busy station. It's near the airport and along a pretty big travel corridor. It's the last charger along 294 and 94 between Rosemont and Milwaukee. So stay tuned. All right, good work, Electrify America. Just as I was saying, the trip was going fantastic. All the stalls are full, and the Volkswagen Nav and the Electrify America app shows a charger available. So yeah, you see the little green light here. It shows Electrify America is available. There, the charger I just pulled up to is completely dead. That is accurate in the app. However, there is a Hyundai Ioniq parked over here that has completed its charging session. And there's a Kia Niro waiting, and then I am waiting as well. So we have two cars waiting here, even though the app shows that there is a charger available, which is, it's showing this one that's idling as available. So not great. There are also cars on my other side as well that are all charging. So yeah, this is not great. We just need to be here for like 10 minutes or so. But it looks like I'm gonna be waiting a second. Of course, there's an ID.4 next to me that plugged in at like above 50% state of charge, and he's at 72 right now. He's been charging for 20 minutes. Not great. Okay, this Ioniq driver might be leaving. We will see. There's somebody leaving and telling the Kia Niro that the charger is available. And all right, now she doesn't want to take it, I guess, so I'm gonna go take that one if she's not leaving. So we will see kind of what happens here. All right, so quick update here. The car, I don't know, forgot what car that was actually parked here initially, but he left. The Kia Niro driver wanted to stay in the spot she was in. This Hyundai Ioniq has been idling for 15 minutes, and no, the owner is nowhere to be found. So we're gonna go ahead and plug into this charger number one, because it's the only one that is available to us. Not great. Not great for good work, Ioniq driver. He's also kind of parked in, this is like an unofficial spot. I don't think two cars are supposed to fit here, but there's enough of a gap where it is. We're gonna go ahead and just activate the charger, get this going here. We really only need to get to like 40%, 45%. So payment authorized. I don't know why she didn't want to leave. She's parked right in front on the other side of the Hyundai Ioniq here. She did not want to leave. She said, oh, I'm waiting for this one. So, okay, I just got out of the dead charger that's over there. And yeah, nearly flawless experience. So let's see what we're actually charging at here. The person who was at this charger literally got up and went over to her and said, hey, my charger's free if you want to plug in here. And she said, no, I'll just wait for this one. So I don't know when this Ioniq driver is going to come back, but I don't know. So we've arrived with 17% state of charge. And this is horrible. Charging at a measly, okay, never mind. I spoke too soon. It's ramping up. 108 kilowatts, I'll take it. I call that a win. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run into the restroom, and by the time I'm back, this should be enough for me to go. All right, so I left the car for 10 minutes to go use the restroom, and I got a notification on my phone saying that that I'm gonna incur idle fees if I don't unplug. So I only charged 11% and stopped. The Ioniq left, so I don't think, yeah, I'm getting a red light, obviously, the car itself. So we're gonna go ahead and re-plug in, but I should have been done by now. So I don't know if someone hit stop or if just the station errored out, because Electrify America likes to do that. But yeah, it showed that I charged from 250 to 255. It's 304, well, it's 304 now. You can see 304, and I stepped away for 10 minutes to walk inside, use the restroom, and here we are. So I am gonna, well, I need to unplug again. I think I replugged it too quick. I made it confused because these things are not very smart. So let's unplug again. All right, let's hit finish. Okay, plug in. So yeah, the Ioniq should have parked there, but he didn't, and then somebody else was waiting. He parked here, which looks like it's technically not even a spot. He must have wanted to use this one, I don't know. Again, I like to assume the best. Maybe his session just randomly stopped too, but he had enough charge to get where he was going, because he's gone now. So let's activate this again. Processing. It's a nice BMW i4 over there, and the Kia Niro looks like it's finally able to plug in. She had to move anyway, so I don't know what that's all about. She didn't want to take this one. Maybe she knew this one had a problem. I don't know. So, thanks for choosing Electrify America. Don't really have much of a choice, do I? It is raining out now, so I'm glad I planned a little bit of buffer. I did get here with 11% though, and it got me up to 28% in that 5 minutes, but all I needed was another 5 minutes or so. That would have been great, but here we are, 28%. You see the charging speed maybe ramp up. I saw 22 there briefly. Okay, there we go. But the station's suddenly empty, so I must have just hit it at the perfect time. So, okay, we're getting back up to over 100 kilowatts. 110, perfect. All right, let's sit in the car. Let's figure this out again. The person next, both people on both sides of me, they both left. So, I don't know, maybe someone bumped, someone decided to play a prank and hit stop. That's why you shouldn't be able to stop the charge, you know, unless you're the person with the pass. That's the thing I like about the charge point chargers. You have to tap your charge point card to stop the charge as well, or just unplug it. But my car locks the, you know, connector in place. So I don't know what's up with that, but I actually did plug this into the Volkswagen Nav because now I think it has a pretty good range estimate. So what does it think we need to charge to? Just to 38%. Probably going to charge a little bit more than that just to have a little bit of buffer, but it thinks we'll get home with 4%. Probably charge it to 40 just to be safe, but 40 should be totally fine from here to get home. So charge to 40. We're already at 31. So yeah, I don't know why it stopped. If it stops again between here and 40, there's definitely something up with the station, or maybe just somebody decided to hit stop because they think that it's fun to stop charging electric cars. I don't know. So see you in a few. Well, here we are again. Stopped right at 38%. The car thinks we need to charge to 39. Wasn't the car, because it briefly, I'll overlay it here, but I got a picture with my phone before I can get the GoPro out. But it did show charging socket not working. Please service vehicle. So I've seen this once before in Michigan, and that station just did not work right at all. So yeah, we're gonna plug back in just for a couple more percent for a buffer. But yeah, this is ridiculous. Why does it have to be like this? Last charging stop of the trip. This location is kind of notorious for being, at least in my experience, for not being that great. Gonna have to unplug again. So we're getting the red light. Jeez, man. All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't leave the car for longer. Yeah, we only got 3 minutes that time. So not great at all. So let's go ahead and finish here. Probably can move to another station, but it's probably not worth doing it at this point. So let's go ahead, plug back in here. Connect the vehicle. There's no obvious sign that this shouldn't be working, but it's funny because it almost seemed to happen right when that Kia plugged in, and these don't power share. These aren't the power sharing chargers, but just was a funny coincidence, I guess. And now it's spinning on connecting to vehicle, so that's not great either. All right, I think the station's borked. We're gonna move it. Gonna move it over to one of the few other working ones. Gotta unplug. We're still getting the red light, and it still says connecting to vehicle over there. So let's hit my unlock button. Hey, look at that! I unplugged. Okay, so let's move us over. Sheesh. So obnoxious. It's funny because Caitlin gets my charging notifications. She sees when it unplugs, so let's see if the GoPro stays where it is there. Spoiler alert, it did not stay where it was. All right, let's back in here. Left my charging cap open so that, you know, it's relatively easy to plug in there. Don't really care about blocking this space since that charger's not working anyway. And leave a little gap between the BMW and I. But it looks like he also left his car. It seems to be the trend at the stations. People leave their cars. Well, at least now I can kind of rule out somebody being mean and hit and stop on my charge. Plug in first. They're showing that this handle is unavailable. This one is, so we'll grab this guy. Probably the one I would have grabbed anyway, because, you know, kind of back the car in between these. But it's good I did that, so I didn't have to reach over if I park properly. Connecting to vehicle. I hope this isn't a car issue. All right, nope. So this one did the handshake with the vehicle. Processing. Just tap my phone for the Electrify America. Payment authorized. Initiating charging. Got the white light. It's communicating. All right. Let's see what we're getting in terms of charging speed here. It was weird. Both times I plugged in, it did like kind of stop at like 15 kilowatts and then rocketed back up. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know. Could be nothing, but let's see what this one does. All right. This seems like a more typical ramp up, so I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe that station does have an issue with surging or something, but all right, 83 kilowatts, a little bit less, but now we're a little bit higher in the pack. So we got another 10% from that other one in 3 minutes before it gave up. So I'm just gonna stand out here, honestly, for just the few percent we need, and then we should be good to go. All right, we just finished charging up to 50% with 117 guesstimated miles. And we should be more than okay to get home from here. We're only 83 miles, so I gave myself a little bit of a buffer just in case, because the weather's not great right now. But 14%, I probably could have gotten away with just, you know, leaving at 38 from that other crappy station, but decided to go the full way to 50% here. So see you in Milwaukee for the recap. Welcome back to Milwaukee. So we made it, 7% save charge remaining, so it's a good thing that I charged up a little bit more. I don't know if we have more fuel efficient roads, or I think I was traveling a little bit faster than the previous stretch, so that does make a range difference. So I'm glad I added that kind of 12% buffer, because otherwise it would have been 5% short. Would have to go slower the rest of the way to make it. So that worked out really nicely. Let's look at our overall trip stats. So let's go over to vehicle data. So this stretch from Columbus to Milwaukee, we averaged 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. Pretty good. 459 miles. Took about 8 hours. I believe, I still don't know if that's inclusive of charging or not. I left at like 8:30. Yeah, you know what? We made it under 8 hours. And I think that includes charging, because we left at like 8:30 Columbus time, and that was about 8 hours ago, because that's an hour ahead. So we're in 5:30 there now. So yeah, yeah, you know what? Maybe a little bit more than that. That must be driving time, 7:54. So not too bad. 58 mile per hour average speed. We look at the overall trip, we averaged 3.1, so we were a little worse on the way there. Better on the way back, so that's good. Overall 16 hours in the car, 932 miles, and yes, on that last stretch we definitely had a little bit worse average, 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. So but average speed of 67, so we were cruising, you know, versus the overall trip we were going faster. So that all looks good there. The other exciting thing, we're almost at 40,000 miles on this car. Give this video a like if you want to see a review, my 40,000 mile review. I was debating doing a 20,000, I just never got around to it. 40,000 I think is going to give a better idea of kind of the car. I'm averaging 20,000 miles a year, so that is over my lease limit. I need to figure out whether I need to buy out this car or not. It does have 2 accidents on it, unfortunately, or else I would probably done even more driving. But yeah, I mean, this has been a fantastic car. Really almost near flawless road trip experience with Electrify America, except for that last station, which, you know, I kind of should have known better. Lafayette was a surprise that worked out. I think we just got really lucky with that. But yeah, almost to 40,000. So yeah, give a like, subscribe if you want to see a 40,000 mile Volkswagen ID.4 First Edition review, 2021 year model. Yeah, this car is not old, but it's aging quite well, I would say. So everything still looks good. And for all those people who point out that like the steering wheel turns yellow, mine looks pretty good still. Like I haven't really done much. There's a little bit of wear, maybe dirt here, but like the steering wheel looks pretty good considering. So that's just one thing I want to point out. A little sneak peek for the review later, as we want to see how these parts wear and stuff like that as well. But yes, thank you for tuning in for another Midwest EV road trip. Very successful, very minimal in terms of issues, and we made a good time. This is I think our record for going to Columbus. I've been to Columbus I think once or twice before with this car, and I don't remember making it this fast, so that is good. Probably not having the dogs maybe helped with the weight in the car and the time waiting at the charger, but I'm excited to be home. So see you guys at the next one.